The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello, everybody. I'm back. I always say that. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're finding ways of staying cool this summer. Denver has had some really walloping summer days, but we're actually getting a break in the temperature. My boyfriend and I just went walking and there was a nice cool breeze. It's like, Colorado. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and I got lots to talk about today. Don't I always? So let's begin. So it was actually supposed to be 2 books today, but I thought, let's do 3 because the third one deserves its moment of shine. It's fantastic. Anyway, let me get started. So, as you know, I love tea. Big shocker, I know. Well, it's really cool to meet other people or to hear about other people who are just as much into tea as I am. There's one individual in particular that I first found out about when I got into steampunk, and he has this rap called Cup of Brown Joy. You know what I'm talking about. And I love the video, and it's so funny, and it's like, wow, dedicated to tea. That's really cool. So it was recently that I was just thinking about that song, and I thought, I really need to look up Professor Elemental and just see what's going on with him. And he's busy doing all sorts of festivals and events and rapping and drinking tea and writing books, and truly a Renaissance man. So the first book I am reviewing today is Mea Culpa. I love that cover. But this is Mea Culpa, The Incredibly Adventurous and Fantastic Life in Times of Professor Elemental. Let me just show you the cover again. It's great. So I'll read the back of it for you. Paul Alborough is a 45-year-old man who dresses up as a Victorian professor in order to perform rap music that sounds like it was created in the 1990s. The story of his life has been so far unexplored, which isn't that surprising. I mean, it's a very nice life, but not at all that fascinating. His creation, Professor Elemental, on the other hand, now there's a chap who has a tale to tell. No kidding. Tucked snugly between these pages is a life like no other, a 100% accurate ghost-written autobiography of a fictional man based on real-life events. Written by Scott Finlay, with additional notes by the professor himself, and illustrated throughout by Cliff Cumber. Strap in for stories of thrilling adventure and hilarious mishaps as the professor flies by eagle from the comfort of Elemental Manor to the rough and tumble of public school life, and onwards to the jungles of Africa, the London Zoo, and several huge explosions. You have never read a book like this before. And then there's fine print, probably with very good reason. But yeah, this is a perfect book to read when you have a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday, or for some reason you're off from work, or you just calling sick. This will take up your afternoon in quite a hysterically funny way. As I read this, it just reminded me a little bit of the Terry Gilliam film, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, which I just recently purchased, and I showed it to my boyfriend who had never seen it before. I think that's right. But just the outlandish adventures that Professor Elemental gets into, and also his butler, which, the questions, I forgot. How did he meet his orangutan butler, Joffrey? How does a professor end up as a full-time hip-hop MC? Just how many jobs has he been fired from? And just what is he a professor of anyway? I'm not going to answer these questions. You just need to read Mea Culpa. And actually, if you go to Professor Elemental's website, there's the full store. So you can get his albums, you can get his books, you can get stickers, you can get the tea, which I'll be talking about later. So yes, for Mea Culpa by Scott Finlay and Paul Alborough, Professor Elemental. It gets Viridian Tea House's 5 Pots of Tea. Jolly good show. I know that was a terrible British accent, but just work with me. Jolly good show. 5 Pots of Tea for an excellent, excellent book. And I need to check the website to see if there are other books coming in or if he's working on some or what. But what a great way to spend a Saturday afternoon with loads and loads of tea, which, by the way, his favorite tea is Earl Grey. So love it. Loving it from across the pond. All right, so the next book, where am I going to put that? There we go. The next book is written by an author that I've just gotten to know recently. And wow, yeah, I'm in reading, just, well, devouring books. That's pretty much what I do. I look for books that just have a really good story. It doesn't matter the genre to me. It really doesn't. If it's a good story, if it catches my interest, huzzah. Having said that, what is it about vampires and erotica? I just, after reading Elizabeth Donnell's book, which, Elizabeth, I'm so sorry it took me years to read it, but oh my God, that was an amazing book. The sex was incredible. This book is just as fantastic. This is, and I'm not going to pronounce her name because I really don't want to butcher it, but this is A Clockwork Vampire. And this is the first book in the series, K.H. Koehler. If I said that right, yay. If I didn't, I'm really sorry. I'm terrible like that. But this is a new adult thriller set in an alternate New York City run on steam power and high technology. Now, at first I was like, oh, this is going to be steampunk. Okay, cool. And then I kept reading it and I was like, wait, no, this works. This is amazing. Freaking loved it. I mean, I think I bombarded her with messages saying, oh my God, I love this so much. Oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh my God, I really, really like it. It's a damn good story. It's an excellent beginning to yet another series that I'm going to be giving my money to. I mean, why not, But let me just read the back of it for you. Edwin McGillicuddy, love that name, by the way, love Edwin McGillicuddy, is a former vampire enforcer, once the right-hand man to the most powerful vampire lord on Earth. Eliza Book is a puppet, a vampire's plaything, and she's on the run for her life and soul. In an alternate New York City run entirely on steam power and high technology, vampires and shapeshifters are struggling for civil rights, and Edwin and Eliza are about to find themselves in the middle of a firestorm. Enter Lord Foxley, Edwin's ex-master and maker. Fearful there is a murderer on the loose, killing high-ranking vampire lords and wiping out whole vampire courts, he manipulates the couple into following the trail of a brilliant assassin. But it isn't long before the assassin discovers a new target in Edwin and Eliza. Clockwork Vampire. What fun. This was a fun book to read. I really enjoyed the chemistry between Edwin and Eliza. And Eliza was not your typical, oh God, oh God, oh. No, she wasn't that way at all. I mean, she held her own through all the twists and turns and, oh my God, what else can happen? Oh my God, what else can happen? Wait, really? That just happened? I loved Edwin too. I tried to imagine him in my mind and the image kept shifting with different descriptions of him. But I love the sexual friction between the two of them and how the two of them have been in love with each other ever since day one. But neither one really acted upon it. And also too, I love the concept of the puppets because they are genetically designed to be servants or pleasure puppets or worker puppets, but they don't really have free will, but they kind of sort of do. They almost kind of reminded me of like a Renfield, just like a steampunk alternate Renfield in a way, where I mean, yeah, I think Renfield had some free will, but I still think that he was just completely, once he was changed or transformed, that he kind of acted like a puppet. But I really liked the different puppets, and I liked how, even with the vampire lores, there's this caste system. But I enjoyed how she wrote the different vampires. Lord Foxley, I enjoyed getting to know better, and I wouldn't trust him with my life or my unlife. I swear, I really wouldn't. But very much a fun story, and the sex scenes really good. There is this overwhelming pleasure that you receive if you're bitten by a vampire lord, and it's just like it's almost like, just kill me now, because how can I live my life after just experiencing this? But anyway, I can go on and on and on. But A Clockwork Vampire, the first book in the series, receives Viridian Tea House's 5 Pots of Bloody Tea. Excellent job, just job well done, thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to be giving you more money, just count on it. You know, it's interesting that with me doing this Viridian Tea House, discovering all these new for me, writers, and the wonderful and horrific thought that a lot of these authors have series, and it's like, there goes my money. So I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying a lot of these books, but I kid. No, I'm happy to give my money to you guys. You guys are fantastic. Keep writing books like these and all the others that I have discussed. Just thank you so much. I love discovering new authors. I love knowing that it's not just a standalone novel, that I have something else to look forward to. In fact, I think I'm going to be buying like 3 or 4 books this weekend so I can get caught up on other series. So, but yes, again, Clockwork Vampire, first book in the series, 5 Pots of Tea from Viridian Tea House. So thank you again. All right, now the surprise book, the one that I wasn't going to review. I've actually read this twice, and I met the artist and writer several years ago at a convention in Louisiana. And actually, I think we were sitting next to each other, and we were just talking about like Moon Knight. Like, I kind of sort of have a thing for Moon Knight. And so I saw this graphic novel, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll buy it. Flew through it, and I was like, okay, that's really good. And he's like, wait, you read the entire thing like right now? I was like, yeah, it was really good and terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Years later, I kept looking at it on my shelf upstairs, and I said, you know, I want to read this again. And I read it within one night. And then I handed it to my boyfriend, and I said, no, really, you need to read this. And he read it, and he was like, this was good. I was like, yeah, this is terrifying and really, really messed up. Hide by Vernon Smith. This was one of the most disturbing books I've read. Yeah. This is one of the most disturbing books, and I've read some disturbing books, but this one is in the top 10, maybe top 5. So let me read the back of it for you. Growing up is hard, especially when every adult in the world is trying to kill you. After a typical happy day with his typical happy family, a young boy named Kevin wakes up to a world where everyone over the age of 18 wants to kill everyone under the age of 18. That's all you need to know. That is all you need to know. Because when you get to the twist, it's like, I kept saying, this could actually happen. I just, I don't want it to happen at all, but I could see this happening. But yeah, this is one of the most horrific graphic novels I've ever read. And yet, Vernon, if you're watching this, I want the rest. If you have done the rest to this story, I want it. So Hyde, Vernon Smith. Oh, you can see my glare on there. There we go. Hyde gets Viridian Tea House's 5 pots of tea. So the trifecta of 5s today. So we've got, rapping British professors who talk about tea, clockwork steampunk vampire erotica, and now everyone over the age of 18 wanting to kill everyone under the age of 18. 5 pots of tea all around. But yes, Hyde is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, time for a cup of tea now. And I'm reviewing a brand new tea. In fact, I've had this tea for a while, but did not open it until today. And I was talking about it earlier. This is from Professor Elemental. Yay! And now the back of it, a perfect balance of color and flavor combined together to tantalize taste buds and enliven the mind. Our aim is to produce a tea which revives the spirit, enriches the mood, and brings a little joy with every cup. And this was produced for Professor Elemental by the Mad Hatter Tea Company in England. So, in my lovely people person mug, here we go. That's lovely. That is a good, basic, not in a bad way, basic English breakfast. This is the kind of tea that you would like in the morning with, not honey, but a good cup of sugar. Well, not a cup of sugar. Just a little bit of sugar with some oatmeal or eggs and bacon and toast. But this is a good tea to get your day started. Oh, that's lovely. That really is lovely. That's, and you know what makes that even better is the fact that I've had this tea bag in this cup for 17 minutes as I'm looking at my timer. I've had it in here for 17 minutes. It's not bitter. It is not, oh God, I can't drink this. This is horrible. No, this is a smooth cup of tea. That's absolutely lovely. This is the kind of tea that I would like to have cup after cup in waking up on a day where I don't have to go to work and it starts to rain, which it's kind of, it does happen in Colorado, just not that often, and have it rain all day and I have a pile of books and a blanket and my boyfriend is reading and I'm reading and we're just silently drinking our cups of Professor Elemental tea. Now, for the bag, this actually has 40 tea bags. So 40 moments of are right here. But the website is professorelemental.com. So if you would like to try some Professor Elemental tea and get a copy of his book, Mea Cuppa, go to professorelemental.com. I'm gonna drink this. Just one more sip. I kind of expected it to be Earl Grey, mostly because he talks about it so much in the book. But no, once again, this is very nice. This almost kind of reminds me of Assam. And for those of you who don't know, Assam tea is a black tea made in the Assam region of India. And I use that in most of my black tea blends. It is malty, very smooth, a touch of earthy, but it works really well with other herbs or fruits or other ingredients. It doesn't overpower. It just kind of sits in the back and kind of balances out everything else if you're blending it. But this is quite nice. For black tea, I try to tell people, some people come to me and they're like, well, how long should I let this steep? And I just leave my tea bag in there. And it's whatever you want, honestly. But for, and for black tea, I try to tell people steep it between 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 5. But it's really up to you. It's really up to your palate. Like I said, this has been steeping ever since I started talking. So, and it's not, it's not bitter at all. It doesn't taste harsh. It doesn't taste like I just want to throw it away, like I made a mistake. You can tell this is good tea. So Mad Hatter Tea Company, and I'll be tagging you if you have social media. Professor Elemental Tea, this is quite good. Thank you so much. Thank you. That is lovely. Well, I'm going to wrap up. I felt like I have just like flown through all these reviews, like going down the hall, door. Anyway, much thanks to Professor Elemental, K.H. Koehler, and Vernon Smith, and also the Mad Hatter Tea Company making the Professor Elemental tea. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now to wrap things up, let's do a simple breathing meditation. So find yourself in a comfortable position, either seated, standing, lying down. We're going to close our eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and let's just focus on our breathing. And as always, if you get stuck on a thought, just tell yourself, I'm thinking, and let the thought go by. But just focus on your breathing. Let's begin. And now in ending this meditation, let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Open our eyes, and we're back. Thank you again for watching these videos and putting up with my babbling, but I get excited. You know, I get excited for reading new books and sharing it with you guys, and then trying out new tea or talking about a tea blend that I've made through my company. I really do enjoy it. And for those of you who follow me on social media, I will be beginning a new segment to all of this called Tea and Tales, in which I read a section from a particular book and have tea and have it like story time in a way, where if there's a book that you really didn't know too much about and you weren't sure if you were going to buy it or not, I sit here and read for a few minutes out to you. And I'm going to be doing crazy voices and just showing you guys the creativity that is on this planet. There are just so many creative people, and I just want to say thank you. I always say thank you, but thank you to those who watch these videos. Thank you to those who write these books and make the tea, and also the musicians and the artists and you name it. Thank you. Thank you so much for what you do and what you share with. Well, yeah, that really is it. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your teacup high, and I'll see you soon. Bye.